What is up, folks? Welcome back. My name's Justin Khanna. Maybe it's not a welcome back. Maybe this is your first time on this channel. If so, great to have you. This right here is a video about you folks by a request from you folks. Shout out to Stygos0123 asking all the way from Germany. He's an apprentice right now. Dude, if you're watching, this is gonna be so great to watch when you're years down the line to see what you were thinking about when you're in this apprentice life. But just from the fact that you're interested enough to have kind of like found my stuff when I'm such small of a channel right now means you're gonna, I think, continue to crush it. So question from Stygos0123, is there any chance I can do a video on my toolbox? Yes. Yes, I can. And so that's what this is. We're gonna go through my heavy monstrosity of kitchen gear storage, and hopefully it answers some questions, gives you guys a little bit of recommendation, and also lets me geek out at the same time with all of you. So just to get it out of the way, this is a Husky brand 3-drawered chest, I guess you could call it. I went ahead and linked this down below in the description, as well as on my profile on kit.com. That's also down below. You can find a few of my kitchen staples that I've done other videos on, as well as some other stuff that I'm gonna cover in this video today. But if there's anything that you see me show after I open this up, or anything you're like, what was that one? Just leave it down below. I'll be sure to get to it and answer your questions. So quick backstory on this box itself. I was living in Napa, California, working at the French Laundry, and right around that time, a movie came out called Kingsman: The Secret Service. I'm gonna put that down. And if you've seen that movie, you know that there's this scene where they show off the gear, and it's amazing.
Oh yes, very, very nice. You're going to need a pair of shoes to go with your suit.
However, guns and grenades take up a lot of space, spoons and spatulas do not. So I don't exactly need a whole room for my stuff, but I really like the idea of being able to be like, what am I making today? And then have everything be super organized in drawers. I can be able to grab and go whatever I need, and also have some backups in case things inevitably get lost or stolen. After I saw that movie, I went down to Home Depot, which is a hardware store here in the US, and I found one that fit the right capacity and was also affordable enough for my line cook budget. So long story long, I guess I settled on this bad boy. So we're gonna open up the top part here, and you can see it's got the two shelves up here on the top. This is not where it's supposed to be. So right up at the top, I've got a big selection of different tweezers. These are just ones that I've picked up over the years. I'm gonna lay these all out. So I separated out from short ones on one side and then long ones on the other side, like some just metal plastic ones. These are great for frying. Some really long wooden chopsticks. And then on the other side, I keep these small plating tweezers and the fish boning tweezers together because, you know, they're similar in size, and I'm cool with just letting them hang out together. Holy shit, I have a lot of tweezers. So that is more or less the very top shelf of the toolbox. Tweezers and chopsticks. All right, next up, going one shelf down, this is kind of my catch-all for long tools. So this is gonna be microplanes, spatulas. I've actually thrown a bunch of knives in here as of late because I've packed a bunch of my stuff into my knife roll. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out right up here. So this is longer tools. So all my knives end up being in here. I tried to organize it a little bit, but it ended up just kind of descending into chaos because there's just too many tools for this one shelf here. So I've covered a lot of the knives part in another video, so I will spare you on this video. You can just kind of see where I'm storing them at. So that is more or less everything with a blade coming out. I'm keeping that on the second shelf in, just so that I can kind of see it from a bird's eye, grab whatever knife I need. Most of the knives that I'm using right now are currently in my knife roll, so these are more or less just backups or specialty knives, like special butchery knives, bread knives, backup paring knives, all that stuff goes in this shelf. All right, now is something that we haven't covered yet on any of these gear-related shows, and that is spatulas. I had a point when I was obsessed with offset spatulas. I was trying to find the perfect one. And what happens when you obsess over something like this is you end up getting a really nice collection of stuff regardless. So I've got ones that are completely flat, ones that have the tapered tip on them, ones that I've custom bent myself. This is my favorite one. I love cooking fish with this spatula because it's almost got like a spring effect as opposed to the ones that are just offset and they kind of have a static hinge right there. This one allows you to kind of press down up against a pan. I got these from a shop in Paris called Delarennes. I have a million different sizes in these too. These are amazing. Build quality is really, really good. This spatula here is actually one that I picked up from Goodwill, I think, or some sort of thrift store. I really liked the flexibility and the shape of the tip here. So what I did was I brought it to a local craftsman in Napa and I had him put a custom handle on it. So this is a custom piece that I had made. Really, really like this one. This one is also pretty special. The brand itself isn't special itself, but a sous chef at Noma gave this to me when we were opening scallops one day, and I don't think I ever gave it back to him, so I ended up actually keeping this one for myself. They just keep coming. There's just more spatulas. It's crazy. I am really, really happy that this is the only one that I actually found in here. So I prefer to I end up working with things a little bit more delicately. I like to use my fingers more. So it's great that this is the only fish spatula in here. I find that you get a little bit sloppy when you end up using one of these. There's just something a little bit more having finesse when you use these. I think that's everything. Another quick point about this toolbox, it's not really a transportable thing. It's supposed to just kind of stay on the shelf and work. I have it so fully loaded right now that if I pick this up, all the drawers slide out, so I have to carry it with 2 hands anyways, which is really annoying. But at least I know everything's in one place. This normally stays on a shelf in the closet. Okay, first drawer coming open. This is the rubber spatula drawer. So a lot of these I bought and haven't even opened yet. I have a little Star Wars one. Got a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different shapes as well. I got this as a gift. I haven't really used it yet, but it could come in handy someday. I also keep these bad boys in there. These are more or less like, it's from a French company called Matford. This one actually is not from Matford. I think I just like the size of this, that's why I picked it up. But these are great instead of like metal spoons if you're working like with a big rondeau or you're using something where you need to scrape something off the bottom of a pan. These are really, really great. And I actually just picked this one up while I was in California last week. This is a bamboo one. So this is more or less just a sturdier wooden spoon that you can use to kind of scrape up when you're making roasted things or anything that you want to get a lot of nice color on. Also in this drawer, I've got peelers. I've covered these before. They're in my kit. Always keep a ton of backups of these. Cool pair of scissors that I have. They kind of fold up nice and thin like this, and then you can press up and then you're able to clip. I love these when I was on the line in Norway because we would put plastic wrap around the fish. This would slide right into the tray that I would temper my fish on, and then I could just pop it right open, snip the plastic wrap, and pop it right back in. Nice and slim for your station to have that TSD that we've talked about before. More peelers. And then this is also the drawer where I keep my cake testers in. So I've got a few of those, I've covered those before. So that is shelf number 1. So we have spatulas, peelers, cake testers, and matfers, or wooden spoons. Okay, door number 2, and this is definitely my favorite drawer. It is the spoon drawer. This can get a little bit chaotic because spoons kind of, ideally they stack on top of each other and you build up a pile, they spoon each other. But because this drawer is flat, I kind of shingle it out and layer it from biggest to smallest. I'm gonna spare you giving stories on each one. If you see one that you wanna know a little bit more about, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But I will share with you a few of my favorites. I really like this one. I don't remember exactly where I got it, but I like the fact that it has a wooden handle and it just feels really, really sturdy. This is my favorite handle shape. It is by David Mellor. I just really like the way that this one feels. I wish I used this one a little bit more often. This is a marrow spoon. I don't think I've ever used it before. I worked with a guy who would plate exclusively with a marrow spoon. Yeah, it was like this one. It was a marrow spoon like this. He would plate everything with this one. I guess it's nice. I need to try it a little bit more myself. This one's pretty cool, little extendo spoon. So the question will probably be which one is my favorite. I really, really love Lady Hamilton spoons. If you've never seen these before, these are some of the most beautiful spoons. Just period. The design on it is really, really unique. Plus the shape of the bowl itself is the perfect quenelle spoon. And I'm actually fortunate enough to have all 3 sizes of these, the teaspoon, the tablespoon, and the serving spoon. These are from Community Plate. They're silver plated spoons. As many spoons as I can get, I try to find silver plated spoons. I'm not really in the market for searching for them so much anymore, but this is the majority of my collection. I have a few more in my knife kit right now, but this is everything that I have. All right, last up, final drawer coming on the bottom here. This is a catch-all for miscellaneous tools. With the exception of the kind of bench scraper style things that I have down here, which I've got quite a few of. This one's kind of weird. This is the Batarang from that same company that I like their offset spatulas. Get it right, they make a bench scraper. I got it in black because it looks like Batman. Also got a few gnocchi paddles here. Pretty cool ladle that I thought I was gonna use, but it didn't really end up working out. It's one that has kind of that tapered section, so you can pour it into a very small sauce pour if you need to. Citrus reamer, this is one of those tools that there isn't really a good substitution for, so I keep one of these around. A good friend of mine in Norway actually turned me on to these. This is a whisk that you can use to whisk the bottom of a saucepan. If you're warming up purees, this is really, really good because you won't end up sticking to the bottom, plus you can emulsify things in pretty effectively with this. Small little spider, I guess you could say. It's thin enough where you can also use it as a strainer though. So I like using this for frying things, as well as if you need to pass something like a broth, this is beautiful for that. Another small little strainer here just in case. Chef Chris out in Norway really loves these tiny whisks, so I picked up a couple on my travels with him. These are also cool to keep on your station or even inside of a deli if you have something on your station that you need to whisk during service. You're gonna be doing something where you're whisking in a pot though, a small pot. I recommend ones with a little bit of a longer handle like this one. These are amazing and really, really hard to find. These are punches, so they're just small metal tubes with blades on ends. So you can do small circular punches of different herbs and stuff like that, or vegetables or long cuts of vegetables. These have gotten pretty beat up over my time in Norway. Once I came back from Japan with these, they immediately found their way on the menu in their different forms, so people would always borrow these and end up really kind of fucking them up. They're not really circles anymore, which is unfortunate. One of these, I love these things. This is a can opener. So it has a little small blade on it, also a bottle opener if you're interested, but it is all, I guess, hand cranked. I keep a little cork on it to make sure that the open blade doesn't stab anything or cut through something. Oyster knives, we've covered those before. Fish scaler, there is few substitutions for this other than kind of like the back of your knife. I really, really like these Japanese style ones because they have the teeth, so they'll make sure that it makes quick work of scaling a fish. And a little pipette dropper, I've never actually used this before, but I have one. There's a few little other tiny miscellaneous tools, like a little Swiss Army knife, and I don't know what this is. I think I got this for Christmas one year. So that is the bottom shelf. That is more or less pastry cards and the miscellaneous tools, ones that don't really fit into a specific category or wouldn't fit in any shelf on their own. So with that, this has been my deep dive into my toolbox, my, what was it that I called it? Heavy monstrosity of kitchen gear storage. Yeah, that. Got any more questions? Leave them down below. Got a video you'd like to see from me? Leave it down below. I mean it when I say I do it for you folks, and I had a lot of fun making this one, so thanks again for Stygos0123 for the suggestion. I'm Justin Khanna. Have a good one.